Diane deCordova with nextnewnetworks, so head of brand ad sales. So really essentially responsible for video sales to folks who are interested in web video and web originals. So we're creating now about 60 different shows on a monthly basis. Actually, I should say every week we're producing 60 different episodes of 60 different shows. And that adds up to about 200 million views on a monthly basis, and that's about 50 million uniques. So huge audiences, huge variety in the content, and a lot of opportunity for advertisers, which boils down to pre-roll advertising as well as display advertising around, which is a little bit more of the general buy that people will make. But we also do a lot of brand integration work and themed content, which offers advertisers different kinds of opportunities. What we see is that advertisers come in many different shapes and sizes and interests depending on their objectives. And so some will come in and simply want the scale of video that can be delivered online, and therefore they'll look across multiple different channels, just simply hoping to reach that 18 to 34 demographic, which is really what's core. And then others will come wanting specific themed content, and therefore they'll pick a particular channel, maybe a food channel or a comedy channel where we have a huge amount of scale. And then others will perhaps want just something that they can integrate their product into. So I don't know if you want some examples, but just by way of case studies. So we've done things where maybe an advertiser just simply wants to entertain an audience and they want to have some product integration. Samsung is a good example, where whether it's with Samsung cameras or Samsung 3D HD TV screens, you could take that product, easily work it into sketch comedy in front of a huge audience on, for example, Barely Political, and that delivers an interesting opportunity that they can't necessarily get. Then others might just simply want to inform or educate an audience and create themed content that's more helpful. That's something we did for Dice, which was a job site that simply wanted to have a positive message about jobs in today's world where there's not much. And those are a series called Best Job Ever, where we had Dice branding around the episodes, Dice tips within the episodes, and branding around. And it was a series now that's entering its third season, so considered fairly successful by them. And then I guess you then have folks who want to leverage the multiple voices that you now have available online. So of 60 different channels that we have, we leveraged recently about 25 of them for BBC's Top Gear, where Top Gear had a promotion for their new season launch, which was just last week, where we took a theme of my first car, and the creators all created episodes, their own version of what it meant, my first car, often their first car or somebody they knew's first car. And then we tied that into a promotion which was aggregated by hashtags and a placement on Tumblr, which is another popular social site, as well as in each individual channel. So advertisers could have reach across the channels, multiple voices delivering the message. And it's just a different kind of campaign. There are a lot of different metrics in this business, and advertisers often will focus on simply the views and the earned media that's generated by the viral video. I think that's still, unfortunately, still considered to be an admirable goal, is to achieve viral success, and sure, that's part of it, and measuring the views matter, but there are other things that are important as well in terms of the engagement, in terms of how much commenting, sharing, embedding, how this might traffic onto Facebook and other platforms. So all those metrics, the social metrics, matter. And just today I heard someone mention a campaign where really they felt the most important thing was actually completed views. So there's still a bit of discrepancy in terms of what matters. Is it just the initiation of the view, which means someone at least got to the content, versus partial viewing to all the way through. Of course, completed views will depend a lot on the length of the content. So if most views are completed within 2 minutes, getting somebody to 5 minutes is it's going to be a challenge. But if the content is good, they'll get there too.
Do you have the tools in place so that you can show people, like, here's this many videos were completed versus, people only completing half of it or 75%?
Yeah, different metrics are in place in different places and different platforms. So certainly on the YouTube platform, you have Google Analytics and Insight tools that will tell you maybe how it trafficked compared to videos of its same length. With visible measures and other tools available by TubeMogul, there are other metrics that are available. So it's an evolving science, and more is always better. But there's certainly a lot of data available. It's really just how you carve it up and some good planning, advanced planning before the campaign, in order to make sure that you get what you want at the end of the day.
What are some reasons you're hearing from brands why they're not ready to maybe spend money with kind of webisodic series?
Mm-hmm. So some brands are still concerned about, well, as they should be, the placement of their precious asset. And so with web originals, there's still a lot of content that doesn't seem to be deemed professional, and therefore not constrained by maybe traditional limitations on what's good content or bad content. But increasingly that's changing. I think as people get educated about certainly the breadth of professional content in the web original arena, the comfort level's going up. That combined with the relative price accessibility of web original content and the variety of voices, and also the quick turnaround. So I think the fact that you can actually produce these things, have that emotional connection of video, but have something timely and created next week is certainly a huge asset. So I think that's helping overcome some of the concerns.
If a TV show can give a brand 1 million views, and one of your web episodes can give a brand 1 million views, are they valuing that at a CPM of equal to, less than, or greater than a TV audience? Like you're saying, we're delivering the same 1 million eyeballs, mm-hmm. So how are they valuing what you can deliver to them?
Well, there are still CPM metrics that are considered, and I think the value is probably a little bit different. I think I don't have accurate data to really show how I haven't ever had anyone tell me specifically that they're valuing my media less, because there are opportunities to certainly buy video placement for less in marketplace opportunities and so forth. But so I'm not really sure I've got a good answer for you in terms of the comparison. But there are opportunities to buy online video in different pricing structures than there are for TV. So you can, whether it's a cost per click model or more of a marketplace opportunity where you can take advantage of some of the underpriced assets.
But you're generally doing more sponsorship driven stuff, right?
We're doing both sponsorship as well as straight media placement, so more dynamic placement.
So the media placement would just be like, 15-second pre-rolls in front of a show, and somebody buys 1 million impressions or whatever. Yeah, so you could say that, online video can be sold exactly as TV could be sold based on those millions of viewers and the value that you assign to any given viewer.